Hey everybody, this is a clip from the latest episode of the Randi Rhodes Show. If you want the full episode, you can watch live on Free Speech TV, Dish Channel 9415, DirectTV 348, Sling, Roku, and AppleTV.
Turn up your mind.
All things Randi at RandiRhodes.com.
Go for launch.
Speaking truth to power, the Randi Rhodes Show.
If you could get one policy on the table right now and get it through that 50-50 Senate and have Kamala Harris hit that button and make it happen, what do you think would help the most?
Wealth tax. A 2-cent tax on the top 0.1% in this country. And I'll tell you why. It's not only about putting just a modest tax on these giant fortunes. It's about the revenue that produces then to build opportunity throughout our economy. With that 2 cents, we could provide universal child care and universal preschool and raise the wages of every child care worker and preschool teacher in America. We could put money into K-12. We could make post-high school education, 2-year college, 4-year college, technical school tuition free. We could cancel a huge amount of the student loan debt. We could deal with the disparities that COVID has shown us, the ones that have forced us to have to look head on to it. You know, look at what's happened during this crisis. While the bottom quarter in America has gone down, down, down. Did you see the recent data out of the Fed that for lower income families, that the unemployment rate right now is 20%? Think about that. And at that same moment, we've seen the top 1% in this crisis get richer than ever before. They have made hundreds of billions of dollars. That's why we call this the K-shaped recovery.
Right.
The top has gone up and others have gone down, and we have a chance to repair that. We have a chance to make this a country that works, not just for that top that's going up, but to create opportunity for everyone else as well. We can do this.
We can do this. We can do this. So Ron Wyden is going to be the chairman of the Finance Committee, and Elizabeth Warren has a nice seat on the Finance Committee because they have agreed to an organizing resolution the Senate has. And so the chairmanships will now pass from the Republicans to the Democrats. And they'll vote on that sometime today, and it'll be done. But there's an agreement between McConnell, the minority leader, woohoo, and Schumer, the majority leader. So we get the committee chairmanships now. Okay. So Elizabeth Warren said yesterday that she's going to press giant corporations, the wealthy and the well-connected, to finally pay their fair share in taxes. And what she is proposing, when she says a wealth tax, I want you to be very clear with whoever comes up to you and said, well, why do they want to punish the... They're not punishing anybody. What they're saying is that if you have wealth of over $50 million, that any dollar over 50, not the dollars leading up to 50, the dollar over 50 million will see a 2-cent tax. So you get to keep 98 cents of every dollar you have over 50 million, and 2 cents is a wealth tax that goes to the government. There's an additional tax on fortunes of over $1 billion. $1 billion. But here's why. Average Americans are now worrying about everything from job stability to having a job, to getting a job, to child care while they look for a job or go to a job, to health care costs if they become sick from COVID, while the billionaires in this country, and there's about 660 of them, added $1 trillion to their collective wealth since the start of the pandemic a year ago. $1 trillion. and their taxes have gone down. Elon Musk, who you know is the Tesla billionaire, he has tripled his net worth. And he knows that. And, you know, he's not against this. 10 billionaires in this country made enough money in the pandemic to cover the cost of distributing coronavirus vaccines to the entire world. Let that sink in. While we're sitting here wondering, how are we going to have childcare? How are we going to open schools? How are we going to find a job if we're, you know, service workers? This is why the bottom 20% of this country, or the bottom 25% of this country, have a 20% unemployment rate, 20% unemployment rate, according to the Fed. It's because they're the first to be hired and they're the first to be let go when there's a crisis. Now, she wants to collect 2 cents on every dollar. You keep 98 cents of every dollar you make over 50 million, but 2 cents goes to the Treasury to fund universal preschool, to fund childcare, to pump money into the public school districts, which, you know, I played you yesterday, Senator Cassidy from Louisiana. No more money for schools. We don't want to fund any schools. Screw them. That's why it's important for you to understand that 6 presidents, when you compare 6 presidents who presided over the fastest increase in job growth in this country over the last 90 years, were Democrats. The 4 presidents who have presided over the slowest growth have all been Republicans. All of them. Because they steer the money and the wealth of this country to the wealthy. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. When Bill Clinton became president and he was looking at economic policy, he was at first thinking he should pay down the debt and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it dawned on him, after talking to every economist on this planet, like Robert Reich and all the others that had studied Keynesian economics, and they said, you know what? When you raise revenue and invest in job creation, guess what you get? You get revenue to invest in job creation, and you get job creation. It's really just that simple. And in a crisis, you need to really pump money into the economy as much as you can do. You pay down debt in boom times. You don't pay down debt in a crisis. And of course, the Republicans had a boom, and what did they do? Increase the debt. Increase the deficit. They gave away $2 trillion. That was their opportunity, if they cared about it, to pay it down. And guess how they passed it too? Here's a dirty little secret. I just want to jog your memory real quick. In 2017, when the Republicans passed this $2 trillion tax cut for the wealthy, with 80% of the benefits going to the very tippy top, only 29% of Americans were for it. Do you know that? Nobody thought it would work. It didn't. So we were right. The American people were right. Only 29% approved of it. And the Republicans used, anybody? Bueller. Reconciliation. 51 votes to pass a $2 trillion tax cut for the wealthy. And it failed. Trump is the only president in the modern era, in the last 90 years, that is going to walk away with less jobs than he inherited when he left. Because it doesn't work. When Bill Clinton raised taxes and invested in job creation, we got 22 million new jobs. Hey everybody, this is a clip from the latest episode of the Randi Rhodes Show. If you want the full episode, you can watch live on Free Speech TV, Dish Channel 9415, DirectTV 348, Sling, Roku, and Apple TV.